Alright, guys. I'm Kaboosh. I'm going to be stepping in for Starlight while he fixes his internet problem. Because who knows how long that will take.
It turns out that Australian internet is worse than Canadian internet.
Yes, we've confirmed that tonight.
Yep. He's going to have to go out there and fix it. So whatever it takes for him, he's going to need to rent some scuba gear, find out where the problem is in the ocean, and then get down there and fix it. I know that he will do it personally, because he's a good guy. Alright, so we're going to hop into this game between Soloist and Bioice. So, I will be your hypecaster that isn't necessarily the best hypecaster, and you can talk about Terran against Zerg.
You can be my tasteless.
Aww. That's
you can be
cute.
my tasteless any day.
I'm happy. That's a nice sentiment, yeah. Alright, so we're going to have the spawning in the top right on Iron Fortress. Team Ascension's Bioice, sporting pink for Zerg. And in the bottom right, Team Ascension's Soloist, wearing yellow, which I have to say is a really ugly color on Terran.
I would agree. I really like it on
It looks so good on
Zerg.
Protoss.
It's alright,
Yeah.
but on Terran, I'm just not a fan.
Yeah.
Iron Fortress being the first map is kind of weird. It was Soloist map pick, and it seems like in the tournament we've seen kind of there's been like a top tier of maps being Echo and Coda, which is no surprise, and then the bottom tier has been, I'd say, Vani and Iron Fortress.
Yeah.
Maybe Expedition Lost as well. We haven't seen a single game on Inferno Pools, which is also not surprising.
Good.
Nobody likes that map. But yeah, so I wonder if Soloist actually likes playing on this map. It's not the best mech map. It's okay,
Yeah.
but
Well, I mean, I've heard from Terran players that have been saying, you know, on this map, if they feel like if they get the Zerg on cross spawns, that they are going to lose. And
yeah,
if it's
probably.
yeah,
It's a very hard.
looks like Soloist is going CC first again, and he gets scouted right away.
Yeah.
So no surprises here. Bioice knows this is his teammate. He knows, okay, this is going to be a command center first, and know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to follow this up, probably with some Hellbats. At least I'd assume. I mean, from what I've seen from Soloist, like, he seems like a really good player. Obviously, he's a Korean GM. He's fairly well ranked with the Korean GMs, but it seems to me that he's really good at doing one or two things, not necessarily having a huge breadth of strategies.
Yeah, looking at the games we saw of him versus KiToO,
Mm-hmm.
he went for very kind of all-in openings. Maybe not all-in, but very, very aggressive. Like with the first game, the Hellbat timing, and the second game, the Blue Flame Hellbat, which actually he didn't even get to execute because of the Roach attack. But I don't know. But Bioice is probably watching those games, and he should know what he's up against. But scouting the CC first is going to go for a 3-hatch before a pool opening of his own. So he's going to be in a really good spot here to fend off any sort of plays coming out of Soloist here.
Yeah, I'm curious for whether or not he goes for the roaches, because I mean, I was talking with some Zergs too, and they were talking about that banelings versus roaches thing, Roachhorn, the safety Roachhorn, and how it's just a preference. And so I'm kind of curious what Bioice's preference is, whether it's the banelings or the roaches for Hellbats and Hellion play.
I feel like he is more of a Baneling type player from the games I've seen seen of him. He doesn't strike me as a player to consistently go roaches in this matchup. I could be wrong, and I could just be remembering incorrectly, but I don't know.
We'll
He's
find
still
out.
gasless though, so the kind of
It's actually both of us are wrong. He's He's a spine collar player. He makes 7 spine collars and walks them across the map like Gamcha.
That's a new meta, man.
And then poops creep on the other person's base so he can burrow the spines next to the command center. Yeah.
If you guys didn't see our games last night from Group C, highly recommend checking them out. Some very, very interesting games, especially the last series. But the whole night was full of just amazing games. So definitely check those out. We have our VODs. Post those in the chat.
Starlight says, schedule next RSL for Christmas so he'll be in America.
We can have the finals on Christmas Day. That'll be great for viewership.
Yes! What would be better? Alright, so first, you're opening up those presents and you're like, hey, you know what? We gotta stop opening presents because RSL is on. Yeah. That is better. This is a bigger gift. It's our gift to the community, right? StarCraft.
Alright, so the armory. We missed the armory, so it is going to be another Hellbat timing, and there's no Roachhorn, and
then a tech lab behind it with Banshees.
Yeah. This might just outright kill Bioice here.
I don't know, I mean, he's making the Evo Chambers and a Spine Collar at the front of his natural. He has 3 Queens out there too. A Spine Collar.
Yeah, if he has his Queens in position, he could be in a good spot here.
There's so many Queens. There's 4 Queens out there with Spine Collars at each location. What damage could he possibly do? With 6 Hellbats. Look at these Queens.
There's only 1 transfuse though, so I mean the Queens are going to do a good job, but eventually the Hellbats should wear them down. The Medevac is in the main though, so the Medevac isn't providing healing support for the Hellbats.
Right. Well, it just pull a lot of drones off the line though. But let's see, like this the Spine Collar and the Queens, they're just gonna hunker down. A couple of Marines back behind the middle line, losing the Medevac and the Marines. The Hellbats are just gonna go to the 3rd base. Oh, there's a Spine Collar there too. Let's turn around and attack some Queens. The Queens are going to kite backward. No Queen dies today, and the Hellbats really didn't get anything done.
Yeah, I really underestimated Bioice's position there.
Yeah.
I don't know, I felt like it might have been a little bit stronger for Soloist to have the Medevac supporting.
With the Hellbats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he decided he did force a lot of lost mining time from the drones, but ultimately his push got cleaned up for very minimal damage.
Apparently 4 Marines are really good. Usually. So this Banshee is about to go into the main for Bioice. Let's see what he does here. There's a Spore Collar. It is hidden by Overlords. Oh man. Pink Overlords hiding the pink Spore Collar. Alright, but we're going to get, what, 2 workers, 3 workers, it's a Queen. 2 workers.
So
and there's a Spore Collar here too.
Bioice also has an Overlord sitting in the main base, right, and sees 2 Tech Lab factories, so he's 100% sure it's mech right now.
Yeah.
He's getting his Roach upgrades.
What is this? Oh, okay. For a second, so I thought there was a big SCV pole. Like, what is this SCV pole? But then I saw the command center floating over, and I was like, oh, okay, this is good. I was really scared for a second. Oh, this Spore Crawler. The Banshee can't fight.
Really nice spot there for that Spore Crawler. Completely shutting down this Banshee. Did it get... It hasn't got a single kill yet. And it's going to come into 3rd base.
The first Banshee died to that Spore Crawler.
Yes.
Yeah. So this Banshee has done literally nothing. And he gets to go home and repair. And they'll say, hey, did you kill any drones this time? And he'll just give them this sad frown and say, no. He had a Spore out in the middle of the map. Alright, so he's kind of powering up now with Thor's. It seems like there's 2 types of mech players, right? There's 3 types, but we don't want to talk about the 3rd type because the 3rd type makes air units. So we're not talking about that type. But it seems to me like there's 2 types of mech players, and the first type makes tanks, and the second type makes Thors. Is that...
Yeah, so, kind of. If you have to... A decent Thor count is really good against small numbers of Roaches, but eventually if they're committing heavily to Roaches, you have to go into tanks.
Yeah.
And I'd counter that by saying that there's two types of Zerg players who play against mech. There's the ones that try for Roach Hydra, and there's the ones that go really quick mutas.
Right.
So I mean, the Terran player can open with Thors initially, and the Thor and Banshee is really good against roaches until it gets to a certain number, and then they kind of have to add on the tanks.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's starting to add the tanks now. We have 3 tanks in production. It would be really scary for me as the Terran, I think, with how many roaches were produced so quickly. To only have 3 Thors and a couple of Hellbats. I don't know.
yeah, I think Bioice just didn't see the heavy Thor count, or he might have chosen to press the 3rd base. Because there are some Banshees here, and he didn't have any Hydras at the time, but the Banshees take a long time to kill roaches.
Yeah.
Nice little Hellion Armor here at the
Look at
floor.
these Hellions just cleaning up 4 workers. There's a
Yeah.
scan on the main base from Soloist, so he's just like, alright, what's in here yet?
Alright, we have a little bit of a push coming from Soloist here. He's not pulling any ACVs like he did versus KiToO.
Maybe he feels like he's in a better position having...
But
well,
he
I don't
is
know.
moving so far on a creep. Like, he's cleaning up in the middle, but the outside is just... Like, he
The
has no
middle's where it's
retreat.
at, you know, because then we can set up our army position in the middle and they won't know what's going on, right?
The Bioice just crushing this army
man.
head on.
Siege tanks get this blinding clouds. The siege tanks are just doing nothing. Maybe if the siege tanks were shooting, this would be really different.
Yeah, its roaches might get cleaned up, but he's taken out so much of the mech army. There's a few tanks left, but there's just no buffer for it. So this 18 roaches now popping out should just be able to get on top of these tanks and clean them up.
Right. Oh,
They can get used to these Vipers.
I was kind of hoping that for a second, while the tank was in the air from the Viper going, that the Sporl would shoot at it.
I don't know if they're considered air units while they are being pulled. I don't think so.
Apparently
But
not.
that would be pretty cool.
I was just hopeful. So we're just going to continue to rally stuff over here with... Wow, look at all these blinding clouds. Tanks are a little bit too clumped up, I guess. And we're going to move that tank over a couple of feet.
Yeah,
I think
if you look at the
Soloist...
supplies right now, oh man.
Yeah.
Like, I know roaches aren't supply efficient, but I just think there's no way that Soloist can hold on here. He doesn't have planetary, and GG.
Well. So he's done this 3 games in a row against Zerg. So far, no luck. Does he do it a 4th?
I don't know. He feels very comfortable with mech, obviously. It hasn't worked well for him. We know that both KiToO and Bioice play a lot on EU, and the mech play on EU is just very, very common and very strong. Players like Goody and Lily Kanine, and I'm sure a bunch of other Terrans who just love to play mech. So I mean, Bioice and KiToO both seem like they are very, very solid, very strong, have a lot of practice against it. So, I don't know. They just seem to know how to respond to Soloist play and shut it down.
That's what it looked like. So, do I get my Australian back, or am I keeping my what are you? You're my Californian.
No, Greg Starlight back here, given his internet is stable.
Yay!
Does he need to dry off first? You know, like removed his scuba gear fairly quickly.
Yeah, you did.
was
You really got that, man.
I jumped straight in the lake, which is outside my house. So
You mean the ocean?
Yeah, the ocean, that big one.
Australians call
Yeah.
it. It's the lake.
Ocean
Yeah,
is just a
it's
big lake.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just swam down there, fixed this. So
Yeah.
there was a shark gnawing on the cord, so just kicked it in the face.
Yeah, I just, because I'm Australian, right? I
Just had to wrestle him for a little bit, teach his boss, don't you eat my internet? And he was like, alright. It swam off. I was like, that's right. And so
I had
plugged
to
back
get down
in.
there and tell them
Yeah.
cables are friends, not food.
That's right. And then we had a heart to heart. Like, bro, listen. Trying to cast Bioice here. He's like, oh, Bioice, I understand. And so, hopefully he's not trolling me, and we'll keep good internet for the time being.
We'll find out, only time will tell.
Yup. Anyway, that was a pretty good game. I didn't see the major engagement at the end because I hurried to catch back in here. So tell me a little bit about how that game ended, Mr. Pure.
Well, you see, we had roaches killing tanks. I mean, it wasn't about how it ended. It was about how it started. It started with